Shaitanirrajim, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, Assalamu alaikum, Jiayanu, Pakhairagale, Nihao, Chunashumme, Washmale, Ohio Gonzaimas, Guten Hola, Boyo, Privyat, Kaifahal, Halishuma Chatore, Ahlan Vasalan Marhaba, Buna, Mucho Gracias, Swabi, Abballi Kareaya, Hosh Galden, Sayo, Huyamora, Chivatochi, Haljot, Kalimera, Khairutan, and a very warm welcome to everybody who's tuned into PTV World. And I watch you all this morning alongside my very well-learned colleague who happens to be Miss Haja Satti. I happen to be Shahzad Hassan Khan, and we hope and pray that everybody out there is doing wonderfully well and that you're ready to kickstart your day with us. But first things first, hello Haja, Assalamu alaikum. How are you feeling today?
Walaikum assalam. Thank you so much. Jazakallah khair. So weather is again turning very cold, but obviously it is 27th of February now, and it is the 5th anniversary of the Operation Swift Retort. And obviously we are very glad and we are very happy that the way Pakistani state responded to the Indian unwarranted aggression inside our domain. And obviously the Armed Forces of Pakistan, along with the Chairman, Joint Chiefs of Staff Committee and Services Chief, commemorate the 5th anniversary of the Operation Swift Retort, and February 27, 2019 marked a significant event in our history, demonstrating the resolve of the people of Pakistan and the professionalism of the armed forces in response to the unwarranted aggression from the India, motivated by the political considerations and electoral concerns.
And in addition to that, despite desperate Indian attempts to favorably shape the information space, the events of that fateful day showcased absolute operational ascendance of Pakistan armed forces over the Indian side, which is why we say that the tea was fantastic. I guess that's something which the world really needs to know, that we as Pakistanis take pride in all our armed forces, and for them to kind of defend the motherland we call Pakistan. Pakistan Zindabad, Pak Fauj Paindabad, Pakistan Air Force Paindabad, Pakistan Navy Paindabad, Pakistan Police, Pakistan Customs Paindabad. Wow, I mean, and certainly, you know, I think it's worth celebrating. It's worth sharing this with all our audiences out there as well, because it totally talks about the capability that our armed forces hold to defend their motherland we call Pakistan. But not just that.
Right.
Now, Haja, most of the time what happens is that, you know, usually for the kind of guests that we have over here inside the studios, usually it's us who's actually answering the questions whenever, fortunately or unfortunately, you get to go in front of them. But today, ladies and gentlemen, I guess it's going to be for the very first time that they will be answering questions as well. And we're very lucky, because most of the time when we talk about customs of Pakistan, ladies and gentlemen, you know, they are those people who are actually making sure that they enforce law, not just on sea borders, but on land borders as well, or maybe any airspace. May it be people who smuggle a lot of goods over here in the country. These people will chase them down and make sure that they bring them to justice. Now, just in previous 6 months, we do know that there have been 200 or more operations which have been underwent, you know, under the leadership of this amazing gentleman who's over here inside our studios. They have seized goods worth 50 crore rupees. And imagine, for all of those people who've been driving smuggling cars, first of all, it's not a great idea. You know, you shouldn't be doing that. And then second, ladies and gentlemen, they have conducted so many operations that they have seized cars worth 50 crore rupees once again, and all of this has happened in 6 months. Now, for them to be friendly towards us as Pakistanis, what can we do and what sort of awareness should we have? Ladies and gentlemen, to talk about this, we are very lucky that we have been joined by Collector Customs Islamabad, Mr. Muhammad Asif Hargan Saab. Hello sir, Assalamu alaikum, good morning, how are you?
Walaikum assalam, thank you very much, and thank you very much for inviting us today. And I'm glad, as you have said, that most of the time custom guys are going to put questions to you people, but today we are in the dark and you are there to
exactly.
us.
But thank you so much, sir, you know, for coming out, you know, for taking out time for our audiences as well. We got in 46 different countries, and Pakistanis should know that who are the people at the helm of affairs as well, and where can we benefit, and to kind of talk about that, you know, okay, when we speak of generic sort of awareness. Now imagine, you know, my sister would call me from England, be like, you know, can I send a car in a gift scheme or whatnot? I'm like, I do not know. You know, so we really need an expert to tell us whether it's going to happen this way or not.
Right.
So ladies and gentlemen, for all of those things which will be in our interest to answer those questions, we are very lucky that we have been joined by somebody who happens to be a Deputy Collector Customs, Dryport, and she is Miss Mehreen Tahir. Hello, assalamu alaikum. How are you doing?
Walaikum salam, I'm fine, alhamdulillah.
Thank you so much for joining us. Wonderful to have you over here. So first things first, let's get started with Mr. Asif Hargan Saab. Sir,
Of course. And Shahzad, so since you mentioned that, of course, the customs are the guardians of our economic frontier of the country, because they are looking at the dry ports. They're also making sure that they are cracking down on all sort of smuggling and making sure that the import and export, which is going on in a more legalistic manner, right? So, sir, we have seen this concept of non-intrusive inspection, and it has gained a lot of currency. So, how in the customs department you are implementing this very, amazing concept?
That is very important question, and let me start from the past. Actually, Pakistan Custom is one of the federal government organization, or you can say one of the any public sector organization which has gone to the automation in 2004-5.
Wow.
That was the time when there was absolutely no idea of going to automation, digitalization, etc. And at that point of time, I had joined as young assistant collector.
MashaAllah.
So when we joined, I was serving at Facillitation dry port, and we were surprised that if somebody has to import something, he has to go to 37 people at least to get their signature affixed on a document which was called Bill of Entry.
True.
Oh my God.
So in 2004-5, Pakistan Customs took the initiative and we went digital, and we introduced Green Channel, and anybody who is sitting at his home, he can just log into a website of Pakistan Customs that was called Pakistan Automated Custom Clearance System. So he can put the information and data will be there. Pakistan Customs system will automatically connect it to the Pakistan Custom tariff. The computer will automatically calculate the leviable duty and taxes, and if the gentleman qualifies for Green Channel, it will be hassle-free, no intrusion, no inspection, no examination.
All right.
So human interference was almost zero for Green Channels. So starting from that, we are at a more advanced system that is web-based one custom system.
Oh yes.
Previous was not web-based, this is web-based. So anybody sitting at your home, you can just enter the data, and your consignment will be out of the charge of the customs.
Wow.
Right.
I mean, if that can happen, I think everybody will be certainly listening to us. What sort of conversation we are having over here. But sir, when we say Green Channel, obviously that means that we have some sort of discriminations related to what does not fall into Green Channel and what falls into Green Channel. So let's talk about that as well. What falls into Green Channel?
Yeah, that works on a very robust and well calculated risk management system.
Okay.
So our system does sort of profiling of the importers, and there is a lot of activity, lot of data analysis involved in it. So once you cross those checks, obviously those checks are very robust and very strict, but they are aimed at trade facilitation. They are not aimed at stifling the trade.
All right.
So once you get clear from those checks, you are entered into Green Channel. You are listed into the Green Channel. Once you are there, until and unless somebody through some very well calculated intelligence based operation, you are caught in doing something wrong, you will stay in Green Channel.
All right.
And I think this is I don't know, benefit of the technology, or there's a lot more surveillance on them. But now let's move to Miss Mehreen. So Miss Mehreen, you are adorning this beautiful uniform, and uniform does has its own charisma, it has its own aura and charm and whatnot. So what are some of the, as a woman, whenever you're wearing and adorning a uniform, there are days when you feel a lot more challenged. So what sort of a work environment do you have? Is it more conducive? And what are some of the most challenging days of your profession particularly?
I think afsar hai, khushi milti hogi.
Thank you for having me. First of all, I would tell you that uniform brings a prestige to the officer.
And responsibility too, right?
Yeah, responsibility too as well. In Pakistan Customs, I think the environment is all inclusive and cooperative. Our fellow colleagues have always been very kind enough that we have never felt that we are women. We just feel we are officers in field, and we perform equally well as compared to our male officers. And also women being in leadership positions, 26% of Pakistan Customs is led by female officers.
Wow.
And that is a number which is, I think, greatest in South Asia in Pakistan Customs. And women are leading, and I think they are facing challenges well than male officers. We have seen one more example in the previous days of ASP Shehbano.
That's true.
She was wearing uniform and she was caring of the lady and got her cleared from the mob. This is how women lead. And Pakistan Customs is all inclusive and facilitating women leadership in uniform and in civilian clothes as well.
And it's wonderful to see, and it's wonderful to see, you know, how the daughters of the soil, how the daughters of the country are actually, you know, we would put it this way as well, Shana Bishana of the men too as well, and that's the way forward. But now let's come down to the nitty-gritties of it as well. You know, for you to be out there in the field, it's like you get to risk your life. Imagine that you guys are chasing smugglers out there. You know, they can be dangerous, they can be harmful, there's so many other problems.
Mafias, right?
Yeah, so as soon as, and not just that, you know, so then they build up on, you know, what we call that, you know, enemy beyond borders or enemy within the borders as well. So how do you kind of cater to that? Not just that, obviously, you know, your mother, your father will always be worried about, as much as not Asif Saab's father or mother ke, chalo Asif Saab kar lenge. So how do you come across those challenges as a lady working out there in the field?
I think whenever you put your foot in the field, you are not more a lady.
Oh yes, true.
You are officer.
Oh.
And then all the challenges are left behind.
All right.
You will have to perform, and you perform very well. And in Pakistan Customs, I have never felt a single day that I am a lady and I am being marred by any other challenges which our male officers are not.
All right.
So I think our cultures have changed, times have changed, and environments are being all inclusive for women.
Alhamdulillah. And you truly feel responsible that you really need to make sure that this environment stays the same for other ladies or women to come into this field.
Inshallah, we are hopeful and we are striving for other women as well,
Alhamdulillah.
our team members.
And I think this is the best example for, especially for the women out there who want to emulate and want to imitate, you know, how women are also performing their duties, and that too very responsibly. So Asif Saab, now let's move to you. So we've seen, and obviously, like I mentioned, that you are the guardians of an economic frontier of the country. You're looking at the dry ports, seaports, and other ports of the countries. So now, how can we increase our more trade, especially considering the fact that we have a trade deficit country, right? And make sure that it's in a more smooth process and where there are no leakages in the system, because obviously when you're part of an infrastructure, there are lots of leakages. So can we talk about the leakages and how, as a custom officer, you are catering to those sort of, you know, leakages?
And in addition to this, sir, obviously, you know, economically, we do know how we suffer, and God forbid, there are challenges as well. So for all of that, those custom duties and taxes being levied on to people, do you think that it can get better in days to come?
Yeah, very important. First thing first answer
Sure.
to
Ladies
Mr.
first, yes?
Ladies first.
Of course,
So
of course.
you are earlier we were talking about lady officers in
Right.
customs. So just first connect to that previous question of
True.
your that let me share with you that obviously Marine is doing very important job. She's heading Islamabad dry port and she's looking after all trade coming and going out. Simultaneously, when you mentioned that in last 6 months we have impounded 200 vehicles and
200
we have conducted 200 operations on motorways. All those operations were also headed by a lady officer. She is working as additional collector, Mariam Khalid. So you know that is a big challenge for a lady officer to confront the smugglers who are let me share with you, they are very powerful people. They have gun power, they have money power, they have
All
clout,
sorts of power.
all sort of powers they have. So she is single-handedly facing
Mashallah.
all those challenges, and she is a lady officer. So
Mashallah. Brave
sporting
daughters of the soil.
brave daughters of soil. So coming to trade facilitation and how it can contribute to the economy of the Pakistan, let me share with you that in any country, trade deficit, we call what we call trade deficit. It is when your import is more than your export. That is called trade deficit. Trade deficit is not good for the country. And anyways, we are a consumer-led economy. Most of our consumer goods are coming from outside. So that increases our challenge. That increases the challenge of the Pakistan customs. We have to ensure that whatever is due to the government of Pakistan at import rate, that is collected in a fair and transparent manner. So Marine will tell you how much import volume is there at Islamabad dry port and how we are facilitating that. But let me give you a broader idea that
Sure,
Pakistan Customs collect at least 45% of total tax revenue of government of Pakistan.
Wow.
So you can say when government of Pakistan has assigned Federal Board of Revenue to collect at least 9 trillion rupees a year, so at least 45% of that amount will be coming from Pakistan Customs. So you can imagine how important Pakistan Customs
Almost
role
4
is.
trillion rupees, yes.
This is by Pakistan Customs rule. Now, how we implement it and how we collect it, there are two aspects. One is technology, other is human element. So I have earlier explained to you that on technology side, Pakistan Custom is far above any other public sector organization. On human side, yes, human errors do occur, and to catch those human errors, or even to catch the connivance of customs officials with the unscrupulous elements, whether they are smugglers or they are importers.
Right.
So we have our own internal mechanism to catch those people.
So more of an intelligentsia?
Yeah, we have a very well organized organization that is called Directorate General of Custom Intelligence and Investigation.
Right.
So we are check on our own people, people who are posted in custom intelligence, they are check on us. So if wherever we falter, my counterpart in custom intelligence will catch me.
Okay.
So Pakistan Custom has unique mechanism of internal accountability.
So if like Hajra is not doing well, so I'm going to go and complain. It's exactly like that, unfortunately.
You are secretly
Or if I'm
spy on
not,
me.
yeah, or if I'm not working well, Hajra is going to go.
Yeah, I was about to say it can be
Certainly,
it cuts both ways.
It will always give you a sense that that my partner, whether he or she is loyal with me or not, so I think that's
But
a challenge to work, right?
But if you're not doing anything wrong, you have nothing to worry, nothing to fear, and I think that's a wonderful check and balance in order to ensure that there is no leakage in the system, because there's so much money involved in that.
सोचिए हम दोनों की दोस्ती हो गई है फिर.
then God can catch you.
Obviously, and certainly people really need to be kind of need to have this within their own hearts as well, because Day of Judgment, ladies and gentlemen, we all have a firm faith on that.
And whenever you are being corrupt, I mean, in some way or other, the way Allah will always going to punish you. It is
Exactly.
always, your amal are always going to come in front of you.
किसी का माल खाएंगे तो आपका माल भी नहीं बचेगा. But coming down to that said, so very quickly, for all of those custom taxes that are being levied on people, so because of the poor economy of the country, do you think that it's going to get better? Do you think that that trade deficit is going to get lower? How does custom help Pakistan government in making sure that we are getting a better economy every single year?
Yeah, another very important role that is assigned to custom, that is trade facilitation, and trade facilitation is more aimed towards facilitation of exports.
Okay.
So if somebody wants to do some sort of export, and his container is stuck at the dry port, at the seaport, at the airport, so his cost of doing business is really going to very high. So the challenge and responsibility Pakistan Custom is having is that if some export consignment reaches our territory, we have to make sure that we extend maximum facilitation.
Okay.
We make sure that goods are boarded in within minimum time.
Right. So, Ms. Marine, now coming to you. So since Shahzad has already talked about, since you're in the customs and you are dealing with the people who are very powerful, so you are cracking down on these mafias, on these barons who have lots of monies and they're powerful in terms of their connections at the top. So what is the defense mechanism that protect you, and especially as a woman? And now also we can discuss it at the intersectionality of the technology. So how technology is also making sure that you are either are you more safe, or you are more vulnerable to this entire ecosystem in which all of these barons and robbers they're flourishing.
Or hypothetically, Fasil sahab calls you, Marine beta yaar ye zara dekh lena. Please go ahead.
Technology is a double-edged sword. I think it depends on the officer and it depends on the individuals, that how you get technology utilized. The preventive operations are all intelligence-based, all information-based. We have information networks. We have different squads moving on the roads, which extend information to the officers, and then they catch the smugglers or the mafias by a coordinated network with all other law enforcement agencies to provide all the protection to Pakistan Customs. Yes, everybody is gathered, everybody is one page against the smugglers and mafias.
Wonderful. So, so that there is no leakage as well. But very quickly towards the end, one last question, and that is that a lot of people keep on asking me about those gift schemes, and I don't know, who to call. So first of all, if anybody wants to get information related customs, which website to log on to, what sort of information do we really need to look forward to, and then the gift scheme?
Our user platform to extend this information to the general public,
Sure.
that Pakistan Customs has launched Pakistan Single Window Program in 2017,
Right.
which is a single step registration process,
Right.
and that deals with all the stakeholders involved in the clearance of the goods, in the clearance of the trade, and in facilitation of the legitimate trade. That include all the 33 commercial banks and other law enforcement agencies, as well as other regulatory bodies, which are all on a single page. And when you declare something to customs, all government agencies are going to upload all the regulatory documents and necessary requirements on the system, and then you just tap on those and get your goods cleared. And for all information, Pakistan Customs has launched a website which is tip.gov.pk, that is Trade Information Portal of Pakistan, that deals with trade in goods, trade in services, and guide to import and export, whichever item it is. It also has all the harmonized code of system uploaded on the website, and you just click on the item you need to trade in, you need to import, you need to gift somebody or overseas Pakistanis. Just tap on the item and you will get all sort of information from the declaration to the clearance.
Wow, that's wonderful. So ladies and gentlemen, I think you really do not need to call anybody. All you need to do is make sure that you open your laptop. It's tip.gov.pk. Log on to that. You'll get all sorts of information. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much,
madam, for being with us. Lovely to be in conversation with you. And sir, as Customs Collector Islamabad, if there's any message that you would want to give to people who might be smugglers, who might be the people who are going to take advantage of the custom law enforcement to be out there, what will be your message today for both the parties?
Yeah, my very humble request to the people in general is that like we say no to drugs, say no to corruption. Similarly, please say no to smuggling, say no to smuggled items. Whenever you go to purchase something, please make sure that it is not smuggled one. In this way, you will be contributing a lot towards the economy of the Pakistan.
Exactly. Well, that's wonderful. Thank you so much once again. And for everybody who's out there, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's the message. And you've seen, you know, these uniforms look very amazing, but when they come down for business, you might not get a good sight of these as well. So please make sure that you are a law-abiding citizen of the country, because otherwise people like these will be out there, and these are the top-notch people. They know what they're doing. You know, there are people out there working for them. They have information networks.
Very well connected.
I think with that, we're heading out towards a short break.
Yes, and after that, we have a very interesting segment lined up, so don't go anywhere. Good morning.
Good morning.
मैं तेरी मस्त निगाही का भरम रख लूंगा, मैं तेरी मस्त निगाही का भरम रख लूंगा, होश आया भी तो कह दूंगा मुझे होश नहीं, अपने तेवर तो संभालो कि कोई ये न कहे, दिल बदलते हैं तो चेहरे भी बदल जाते हैं। एक और बहुत खूबसूरत शेर, उधर जुल्फों में कंघी हो रही है, हम निकलता है, इधर रुक रुक के खिंच खिंच के हमारा दम निकलता है, इलाही खैर हो, इलाही खैर हो, उलझन पे उलझन बढ़ती जाती है, ना उनका गम निकलता है ना हमारा दम निकलता है, हंगामा है क्यों बरपा, हंगामा है क्यों बरपा, थोड़ी सी जो पीली है, हंगामा है क्यों बरपा, थोड़ी सी जो पीली है, डाका तो नहीं डाला, मिलती है, हंगामा है क्यों बनता, थोड़ी सी जो भी
वाह वाह वाह।
अगले बहुत से
सर
पहले तो पिलाते हैं, फिर सबको बताते हैं, ये दुरुस्त के ऐब है मैं कशी, सारे मपदा हमारे मदनी हमारे साथ, ये दुरुस्त के ऐब है मैं कशी, ये बजा के बादाम है, मगर अब सवाल है, मगर अब सवाल है पड़ा कि तुम्हारे हाथ में जाम है, पहले तो पिलाते हैं, फिर सबको बताते हैं, इससे न मिले कोई, इससे न मिले कोई, ये शख्स शराबी है, हंगामा है क्यों बनता, थोड़ी सी जो पी है, डाटा तो नहीं डाला, तो नहीं डाला, तो नहीं डाला, तो नहीं डाला, चोरी तो नहीं की है, हंगामा है क्यों बनता, थोड़ी सी जो पीनी है, थोड़ी सी जो पीनी है, जो पीनी है, जो पीनी है।
Wow, wow. I think the mornings can't get better than this. Ladies and gentlemen, we're very lucky that we've been joined by a prominent ghazal singer over here inside the studios who happens to be Mr. Atif Sani. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Thank you so much for joining us. Wonderful to have you over here. Alongside Atif bhai, ladies and gentlemen, we have been lucky that we've been joined by a very amazing tabla player, and he happens to be Mr. Alish Khan. Assalamu alaikum, Alish. Thank you so much for joining us. Wonderful to have you over here. Ji, Sani bhai, kithe aaye ho?
बस आपने याद किया और हम आज
क्या बात है, you're such an amazing ghazal singer that, because most of the time we do get a lot of people over here, but they put a lot of pressure, there's a lot of pressure onto them as well to perform, but the way that you perform with such serenity, the kind of vocals that you had, it felt like as if, it's a natural gift to you by Almighty.
So why not we hear another ghazal, because it is such a melodious tune, and especially early in the morning in our studio. So, and especially from the Islamabad studio. So why not listen to another ghazal? So please go ahead.
साथ में जरा आते भाई अपने बारे में भी कुछ बताएं जरा गजल पे पहुंचने से पहले।
अभी उस्ताद नुसरत फतेह अली खान साहब की गजल आप सबकी नजर करूंगा।
हाय जी, and I kind of requested him for all of these ghazals as well, so it's nice of him.
सरे नि सरे सदा म पद नि रे सरे गा गा म रे सरे नि सरे सदा नि परे सरे नि सा सरे सरे ग म पद धा नि प ग म रे नि रे सरे ग सदा नि रे सा। गम है या खुशी है तू मेरी जिंदगी है तू तो वो नहीं रहा, मैं तो वो नहीं रहा, हाँ मगर वही है तू, मेरी जिंदगी है तू, मेरी जिंदगी है तू। आफतों के दौर में, आफतों के दौर में, आफतों के दौर में, आफतों के दौर में चैन की घड़ी है तू, मेरी जिंदगी है तू, मेरी जिंदगी
सर
नासिर इस दयार में, नासिर इस दयार में, नासिर इस दयार में, नासिर इस दयार में कितना अजनबी है तू, मेरी जिंदगी है तू, मेरी जिंदगी है, गम है या खुशी है तो, मेरी जिंदगी है तो, मेरी जिंदगी है तो।
Yeah, superb. Superb. Ladies and gentlemen, you won't believe it, but everybody over here inside the studios is certainly enjoying what Atif Saab has to sing for all of us today as well. Atif bhai, thank you so much. Atish bhai, thank you so much as well. आपको नाम ही आतिश रख लिया आपने, हैं? हाँ, अंगारे खेल रहे हैं, अंगारों के साथ खेल रहे हैं। मैं जरा आतिफ भाई की तरफ भी बढ़ना चाहता हूँ। आतिफ भाई जरा हमारे जितने भी देखने वाले हैं उनको प्लीज अपने बारे में बताइए, कब से आपको गायकी का शौक है?
ये शौक तो बचपन से ही था।
माशाल्लाह, नजर ही आ रहा है।
हाँ बस वो बचपन से ही था, बट ऐसे है कि कुछ टाइमली कर नहीं पाया इसको, लेकिन ये है कि 13 से 14 वर्ष का था तो बस
शुरू कर दिया था,
स्टार्ट कर दिया।
तो आपका भी ताल्लुक, फॉर एवरीबॉडी, लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन, आतिफ भाई always wanted to be a ghazal singer as well, but when he turned 13 or 14, that's the time when he actually went for his passion, and today, ladies and gentlemen, he's a very polished product, an artist, a ghazal singer as well, alhamdulillah. So for all of your fans who are out there, because whenever we have ghazal singers performing, there are a lot of people who kind of spend a lot of money on ghazal singers, and because you get them into that aura, there's a little bit of spirituality.
There are ghazal nights,
yeah.
and, especially mendis are incomplete without ghazal nights.
And not just that, with ghazals, obviously there's an element of Sufism as well.
Yes.
So I think that's one thing which is very important as well. So how do you feel while performing, and if it's a Sufi kalam?
मेरे ख्याल से जो भी इसका मुआवजा होता है उससे बढ़कर आपकी परफॉर्मेंस है, आपका अपने अंदर की बात है।
बिल्कुल ऐसे ही है।
अगर आपके अंदर से बहुत अच्छा फील आ रही है, अगर आप एंजॉय कर रहे हो तो ऑब्वियसली सामने वाली ऑडियंस भी एंजॉय करेगी।
और आपके जितने भी फैंस हैं वो आपसे आगे किस किस्म का म्यूजिक जो है वो एक्सपेक्ट करें?
मेरे से तो आप
कवर्स ही एक्सपेक्ट करें, गजल या अपना भी आप कोई गजल
अपना भी कर सकते हैं, बट सबसे पहले जो म्यूजिक हो चुका है हम उसी को नहीं कर पा रहे।
सही,
क्योंकि हमारा जो म्यूजिक हुआ है, जो जैसे उस्ताद मेहदी हसन साहब ने, गुलाम अली साहब ने हमें म्यूजिक ऐसा दे दिया है कि हम उसको ही अगर कर लें प्रॉपर्ली तो बहुत है हमारे लिए।
I think that's wonderful. It's a wonderful message for everybody who's out there as well. So आतिफ भाई, हमारा प्रोग्राम का टाइम खत्म हो गया है, तो मैं चाहता हूँ जाते जाते किसी सूफी कलाम के ऊपर अगर हम फिनिश करें तो अच्छा होगा, जो भी आपका दिल करे, चले आपकी मर्जी।
अहमद फराज साहब की गजल की जाए।
जरूर जरूर।
मेहदी हसन साहब का मैंने नाम
But I think before that we would like to bid you everyone farewell, because we want to finish on the very beautiful notes like Shahzad mentioned, because everyone is enjoying in the studio. So with that we are bidding you farewell. Allah Hafiz. It's a good
हमारे पास एक और तबला था, वो भी इस्तेमाल करना था। Thank you आतिश भाई।
शोला था जल बुझा हाय मुझे न दो शोला था जल बुझा मुझे न दो मैं कब का जा चुका हूँ मैं कब का जा चुका हूँ सदा मुझे न दो शोला था जल बुझा जो ज़हर पी चुका हूँ तुम्ही ने मुझे दिया हाँ जो ज़हर पी चुका हूँ तुम्ही ने मुझे दिया जो ज़हर पी चुका हूँ तुम्ही मुझे दिया अब तुम तो जिंदगी की दुआएं मुझे न दो अब तुम तो जिंदगी की दुआएं मुझे न दो शोला जल बुझा कब मुझको मोहब्बत न था फराज़ कब मुझको